On the surface, buying songs on iTunes and using a credit card to pay for an expensive dinner may not have a lot in common, but there is actually a link between the two. When we purchase songs on iTunes, we barely feel the sting associated with payment. With a click of the download button, we can easily buy whatever song or video we might want. Along similar lines, imagine that you go for an expensive dinner. At the end, when paying the check, you have the choice to either pay cash or by credit card. Now ask yourself, where would you feel more pain? Paying cash or paying credit card? Basically, everybody responding to this question will indicate to feel more pain when paying by cash. It seems there is something about cash that feels different and makes it more difficult to spend money. But why is this the case? Research conducted over the last decades offers some insights into why certain forms of payment hurt less and how we can change our spending patterns as a result. Pragmatic and Levenstein, for example, have written about a concept known as coupling, or how much a consumption experience and the payment for the experience are linked together in a person's mind. When we buy something with cold hard cash, we know right away how much that thing has cost us. If I go to a restaurant and use cash to pay, the act of paying and the act of consuming my meal are very directly coupled. I know just how much I have given up to pay for my meal when I pay with cash. And this can sometimes be painful. If, however, I use a credit card instead, there's a break in time between when I eat my dinner and when I actually end up having to pay for it. It's this lack of coupling that can make using the download button on iTunes seem so painless. All of these methods of payment feel just one step away from not paying for something at all. In this sense, people should be willing to part with more money when using a credit card than when using cash, since it doesn't hurt as much to pay with a credit card. Indeed, Pragmatic and Simister found that MBA students were willing to pay almost twice as much for a pair of Red Sox tickets when they paid with a credit card compared to when they paid with cash. This example illustrates that by reducing the saliency of paying, in this case by using a credit card for payment, reduces the pain of paying and hence increases the willingness to pay. Pricing managers should be interested in decoupling the consumption of an experience and the payment for this experience in order to drive willingness to pay and enjoyment of that experience. We have already seen that credit cards are an excellent tool to decouple the consumption and the payment of the experience. Likewise, paying in advance for an experience is equally effective in decoupling consumption and payment. But are there situations where you, as a pricing manager, would like to increase the pain of paying? Think about it for a second. So far we discussed how the pain of paying influences the demand or the willingness to pay for a product. However, we have not considered how the pain of paying might also affect the extent to which a customer uses a certain product or service for that matter of fact. Consider this example. Two friends, Mary and Bill, join the local health club and commit to a one-year subscription or one-year membership. Bill decides on an annual payment plan, $600 at the time he signs up. Mary, on the other hand, decides on a monthly payment plan, $50 a month. We already know that Mary's pain of paying will be higher than the pain for Bill. However, who is more likely to work out on a regular basis? And who is more likely to renew the membership the following year? Almost any theory of rational choice would say they are equally likely. After all, they're paying the same amount for the same benefits. But research actually shows that Mary is much more likely to exercise at the club than her friend. Bill will feel the need to get his money's worth early in his membership, but that drive will lessen as the pain of his $600 payment fades into the past. Mary, on the other hand, will be steadily reminded of the cost of her membership because she makes payments every month. She will feel the need to get her money's worth throughout the year and will work out more regularly as a consequence. Those regular workouts will lead to an extremely important result from the health club's point of view. Mary will be far more likely to renew her membership when the year is over. For many pricing managers, the idea that they should draw consumers' attention to price that was paid for a product or service is truly counterintuitive. Companies have long sought to mask the costs of their goods and services in order to boost sales. And rightly so. If a company fails to make the initial sale, it won't have to worry about consumption anyway. However, pricing managers may be discouraging consumption when they apply those pricing practices. People are more likely to consume a product when they are aware of its costs. But common pricing practices such as advance sales, season tickets, and price bundling all serve to mask how much a buyer has spent on a given product, decreasing the likelihood that the buyer will actually use it. And a customer who doesn't use a product is unlikely to buy that product again. Executives who employ those pricing tactics without considering their impact on consumption may be trading off long-term customer retention for short-term increases in sales.